Hi, in this video I'm going to tell you just a couple of little tricks or life hacks to make the driving experience just that little bit better. Hi, my name's Andy and this is the Q4 channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of ways, just two, to make your driving experience that little bit better. But before that, I was reading the newspaper, a local one, and it said that our police station had been broken into and all of the police dogs had been stolen. That was the attack dogs, that was the sniffer dogs, all of them taken. The police had released a statement saying they'd been left with several leads. So, let's talk about life hacks. Winter months are coming. It's going to get colder, that means frosty windscreens. And of course, that means you've got to defrost your car in the morning or night time, depending on what shift you run, to get to work. Now, I really miss my old car because my old car had heated front windscreens. So it was just a case of turn the car on first, but hit that button, hit the heated wing mirrors, heated rear mirror window, and just leave it to it. Couple of minutes later, completely clear windscreen. It was great. But my new car hasn't got a heated front windscreen. It's got heated rear windscreens, it's got heated mirrors, but it hasn't got a heated front screen. So the only way to work this out is I hit the defrost, which means that the blowers come on high speed and I have to leave the engine running on the car for it to warm up, and then the warm air does the job of clearing the windscreen. But of course, as you will well know, the inside of the windscreen is misted up as well, and it always defrosts from the bottom up because that's where the blowers are, that's where the heat source is coming, and it seems to take forever to clear that top portion of the windscreen. And if you get frustrated, your natural inclination is to wipe the screen, but we know how that works out because as soon as the screen dries, it's just smeary on the inside and it's terrible to look through. And the only way to get around that is let the heaters do their thing. So how can we speed that up? Let's be honest, the heaters are running at full speed, so you can't really help that. It takes time for the engine to get up to heat that it's going to be hot air coming out of those vents. So how do we get around it? Well, just a little tip for you, a little life hack. Drop down your window shades. You know, the drop down piece got a mirror on the back of them. Drop them almost all the way down. Now as the heated air comes up the windscreen, instead of just passing over and going past the roof lining, it hits the sunshades and circulates at the top, and it defrosts the top of your windscreen quicker than if you'd left them where they were. So just a little life hack. It's not a big tip, I admit that, but it does make life a little bit easier. Your car windscreen will defrost just that little bit quicker because the warm air isn't allowed to escape and it circulates a bit before it dissipates around the sides, and that clears the top of your windscreen. I hope that's been helpful for you. But I've got a second one. This is for people who not necessarily drive their own car all the time, but end up going into other cars. Maybe you fly places and hire cars when you're there. Maybe when you go on holiday, you go fly and drive holiday, and therefore you're jumping into a strange car. Maybe you just borrow a friend's car, or you hire a van or something to do some moving. But each time you get into a strange vehicle, unless you've had forethought to walk around the vehicle and find out which side the fuel flap is, the only time it becomes relevant is when you pull into a fuel station and go, oh, which side's the fuel flap? Well, you don't need to get out of the vehicle and look. If you just look down to your dash and where it's got the fuel gauge, and there will be a little fuel pump icon. Next to that icon is an arrow. Now, some people think that arrow, because on some cars it does, it looks like that arrow's pointing to a range, telling you how much range you've got with your fuel. And they think what it means is fuel, range, and then the number. No, that little arrow is actually telling you which side the fuel flap is on your car. If you don't believe me, go out to your car after watching this video, look what side the fuel flap is, then get in, turn your ignition on, and have a look which side the arrow's pointed to next to the fuel pump icon. I guarantee it'll be pointing to which side the fuel flap is. Now, if it hasn't got the little arrow, and not all cars do have that little arrow pointing to which side the fuel flap is, the little fuel pump icon will have a nozzle. It'll have the pipe with the nozzle on. Whichever side that pipe with the nozzle is, left or right, that's the side that your fuel flap is. So once you get to the fuel station, you haven't got to get out the car and find out which side the fuel flap is. Just look down on your dash and that little icon will tell you whilst you're still in the warm, and then you can drive to which side the pump you need. I hope those two little life hacks or tips are helpful for you. If they are, please leave a comment down below. Maybe you've got some tips of your own. Leave those down below. Others read the comments and they will get your tip as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, because the bell icon will let you know when I upload new content. Also, share. If you've liked this video and you know somebody who you think will like it, well, share it with them. Anyway, going back to that story I was talking to at the beginning in the newspaper about the police, there was a second story as well, and it said that while thieves were there, they'd stolen all of the toilets from the police station. The police said they had nothing to go on. Hey, you people, you be happy, you be healthy, and above all, take care of yourself. Because if you don't, who will? Goodbye.